Sophie's mind raced as she left Ryan's apartment, clutching her phone with the recorded conversation. She knew she needed to act quickly. Ryan was dangerous, and there was no telling what he might do now that he realized she was on to him. The next morning, Sophie went straight to the police station. Detective Harris, the officer who had initially dismissed Clara's death as an accident, met her in his cluttered office. He was skeptical at first, but as Sophie played the recording of Ryan's frantic voice, his expression hardened. "This changes things," Harris admitted, rubbing his chin thoughtfully. "But it's still not enough. We need more evidence, something that ties Ryan directly to the scene of Clara's death." Sophie nodded, determined. She knew where to start. With the detective's help, Sophie gained access to Clara's estranged mother's last known residence, a dilapidated farmhouse on the outskirts of town. The place had been abandoned for years, its windows broken and walls covered in ivy. But Sophie wasn't deterred. She had to find out what connection this place had to Clara's death. As Sophie explored the dark, musty rooms, she found a hidden basement door beneath a pile of old, rotting furniture. The door creaked open, revealing a steep staircase leading down into darkness. Heart pounding, Sophie descended, using her phone's flashlight to guide her. The basement was filled with dusty old boxes, but one caught her eye. It was labeled with Clara's mother's name, Mary Ann Evans. Sophie opened it carefully, her breath catching as she uncovered a collection of journals, letters, and old photographs. The letters revealed a side of Clara's mother that Sophie had never known, a woman tangled in a web of deceit and betrayal. As Sophie read on, she discovered that Mary Ann had been involved in a scheme with Ryan years ago, one that had gone horribly wrong. Mary Ann had fled, abandoning her family, but Ryan had tracked her down. The letters hinted that Mary Ann had uncovered some damaging information about Ryan's business dealings, and in a desperate attempt to silence her, he had blackmailed her into disappearing. It all made sense now. Clara must have found these letters and confronted Ryan, leading to her untimely death. Sophie carefully packed up the letters and journals, knowing they were the key to exposing Ryan. She called Detective Harris, who arrived with a team to collect the evidence. As they combed through the farmhouse, they found more damning evidence. Financial records linking Ryan to illegal activities, and proof that he had been paying off people to keep them quiet. With this new evidence, the police arrested Ryan, charging him with Clara's murder and a slew of other crimes. The case that had once been considered closed was now blown wide open, thanks to Sophie's determination. In the weeks that followed, Sophie attended every court hearing, watching as Ryan's empire crumbled. The truth about Clara's death was finally revealed, and Ryan was sentenced to life in prison. But even with justice served, Sophie couldn't shake the lingering sadness. She visited Clara's grave often, leaving flowers and sitting in silence, remembering the friend she had lost. One day, while visiting the cliffs where Clara had died, Sophie felt a sense of peace she hadn't felt in a long time. She stood at the edge, the wind gentle against her face, and whispered, "I kept my promise, Clara. I hope you're at peace now." As she turned to leave, Sophie noticed something shining in the grass, a small locket. It was Clara's, the one Sophie had found in the jewelry box. But how had it ended up here? Sophie picked it up, feeling a warm, comforting presence around her. She smiled, knowing that Clara was still with her, watching over her, and that their bond was something that not even death could break. And with that, Sophie walked away from the cliffs, the locket clutched tightly in her hand, ready to start a new chapter of her life, carrying Clara's memory with her always. I hope you enjoyed the story. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.